Hi, folks. Okay, it's the day after Black Friday, and it's the start of a wonderful Christmas season. And you're thinking about gifts, and you don't know what the heck to buy everybody who you love, but you know they're in love with Costa Rica. So, I have a gift idea for you. I want to talk to you about this amazing product that has been with me for about 20 years now. And this is how I prepare my coffee every day. And I'm going to tell you a little story. And then you go on Amazon and you find one and you buy it. Last year, Costa Rica produced just over 85 million kilograms of coffee. Coffee has been grown in the country since the 18th century, and despite fluctuation in the amount of coffee it exports over recent years, it continues to be an important part of the Costa Rican economy. However, outside of production, Costa Rica also has a rich and unique culture of coffee consumption. Brewing coffee using a Chorreador is one such example. This brewing method is similar to rudimentary or historic filter coffee brewers, but it is not well known beyond Costa Rica. And we're going to tell you more about what the Chorreador is, how you brew with it, and what kind of results you can expect from it. Well, the Cafe Chorreador is prepared using, the Cafe Chorreador is prepared using a Chorreador, a simple brewing device consisting of two main parts. These are the Chorreador stand and the bolsita, which is a little bag, a fabric filter held in place with a wire, and that's commonly called a sock. Brewing coffee with a fabric filter is by no means unique to Costa Rica. It is also common across producing countries in South America and also in Asia. The Chorreador stand is usually made of decorated and painted wood, with the bolsita, it's a cloth filter that is typically made from cotton. A gentleman by the name of Einer Varela is a roaster and the owner of Choco Cafe in Monteverde, Costa Rica. He says, in Costa Rica, many people prefer drinking coffee brewed this way as it's part of our culture, not so much because of the quality of the brew. While Einer offers this brewing method in Choco Cafe, he tells me that people are unlikely to see it in many third-wave coffee shops. However, he tells me that when people do encounter it, they get curious and often want to try it. Fabiola Solano is a barista and the vice president of the Bartenders and Baristas Association of Costa Rica. She says that because the device uses a reusable cloth filter, it could become popular in cafes aiming to reduce their waste. You can reuse them, many times, and they're very, very inexpensive. Einer agrees, but points out the importance of cleaning the filter. He says that as long as a single filter is rigorously cleaned after every use, it can last for as long as 30 days. He says after every use we clean it. At the end of the day, we boil it, rinse it, and store it in the fridge to prevent bacteria from developing and to reduce the taste of old coffee. He says that the oils in the coffee will stain the filter so it cannot be used indefinitely. And that's something for you to do as well if you have a Chorreador at home. You boil the bolsita, rinse it, and store it in the fridge to prevent bacteria from developing. Be sure to do that. Fabiola and Einer both use a water to coffee ratio of between 1.15 and 1.16 and a medium grind size, similar to what you'd use for any other manual pour-over brewer. They both tell me that the temperature of the water should be between 92 and 97 degrees centigrade. It's a little bit too scientific for me, but they know better than I. After carefully pre-weighing your coffee in hot water, mix them in a pot to brew, and then pour them slowly into the cloth filter. For best results, Fabiola recommends that you slowly and constantly stir the mixture as it filters through the bolsita. She says that this keeps the grounds from getting stuck to the sides of the filter. Aner agrees that going slow is best, but notes that brewers should remember that the cloth filter is much more porous than a paper filter would be. As a result, water flows through very quickly, increasing the risk of the coffee under-extracting and creating a weak, watery brew. Aner recommends aiming for a total brew time of between 3 and 3.5 minutes. Aner and Fabiola both agree that the Chorreador is travel-friendly. You can improvise the coffee stand, Aner says. All you need is the wire and the filter, and you can brew coffee anywhere. While the Chorreador was invented in Costa Rica, brewing coffee with a sock is a much more widespread practice. Coffee has been brewed with cloth and fabric filters in countries across Latin America and Asia for centuries. Both Fabiola and Aner tell me that although Costa Ricans have adopted electric coffee makers and popular devices like the Ario V60, the Chorreador is still used in many homes. Fabiola says people still like it because it's so traditional. For Aner, the Chorreador creates a simple and authentic tasting brew that reminds him of his childhood. Many Costa Ricans are first introduced to coffee with this device. It's something every abuela offers you. It's nostalgic, he says. Fabiola agrees, noting that it's common for Costa Ricans to pass down knowledge of this brewing method from generation to generation. The Chorreador is a traditional and important part of Costa Rica's coffee history. Its centuries of use and place in many coffee-drinking families mean that while it might not take the world by storm, it will still remain popular among certain communities in Costa Rica. Interestingly, brewing coffee with a Chorreador or cloth filter also seems to be a popular thing to do among coffee shops and brewers who are keen to reduce the environmental impact of their coffee habit. So if you're interested in brewing coffee without paper, or even in experimenting with traditional coffee brewing methods, consider investing in a Chorreador stand and a bolsita. If you're not familiar with it, it could be a unique new experience. I do want to tell you that since I've been frequenting Costa Rica for about 20 years now, that I use the Chorreador exclusively. I threw away all my other coffee makers and I would never buy a Mr. Coffee again. Now, I'm not saying that the coffee tastes better, but just the fact that I'm doing something that has been around for centuries somehow puts me in a better place. I'm syncing myself with the world. I'm becoming one with nature through my morning coffee every day. And it feels good to me, so that's all that counts. Hey, give it a try. Chorreador, search that on Amazon. You can buy them for anywhere from $14.99 to $150, depending on the type of stand. They come in mahogany stands and cedar. Oh my God, there's so much of a variety. I just have a little Chorreador that I spent about $15 in some corner store in San Jose, Costa Rica, and it works fine. And I do have a very cool collection of socks. Hey, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. This is a bonus episode of our Costa Rica Pura Vida Lifestyle podcast series. It is the Saturday after Black Friday, and I wish all of you a happy holiday season. Go brew yourself some coffee. You deserve it.